1998. This shit's fire.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back again to Plan the Crash Pot Grass. And we're here.
What? Come on. Do that again.
Pin the Gas Podcast. Nah, we're keeping that. Pin the Gas Podcast. I'm Cool Jules. And once again, it's Andy and Delix and Chris.
What's going on, everybody?
The show Simko. And with the official PTG nickname for our special guest today, Mr. The World Conqueror, Cody Cochran. How you doing, brother?
What's up, guys? I'm doing good.
What do you think of the nickname? That's always the first question.
I think I'll take it on if it's in front of me. Like, if I got to deal with it, let's go. Why not, right?
That's awesome.
Nah, because we started this thing where, like, we're giving people their nicknames, like Max Flinders, we gave him the Yellow Flash, and he was like, oh, shoot, finally got a nickname. Josh Gerardo, I was like, Josh So Glow Gerardo. And he was like, yeah, this is fire. So I was like, yo, the World Conqueror, bro. Like, shoot. I mean, he looked like Kratos. I don't know if you play God of War, but
he does, don't he? Yeah, Kratos. You're right.
Yeah, he does kind of look like
cleaned
Kratos.
Up.
Heck yeah.
And he shaved it from the last time.
Yeah, he trimmed up a little bit. Yeah, he trimmed up a little bit.
Yeah. The last one wouldn't fit in the view here.
Oh man. Yeah, it would cover up the little race team name there. Now Cody, I guess from me, I guess from all of us, I guess just how'd you start, man? Like how'd you get into this whole like racing thing? Like where did that happen?
So it was just some type of addiction that I had as a little kid, basically. I just remember watching Supercross on TV, and by about 5-6 years old, I had a little electric bike, like a Power Wheels, but it was a motorcycle. And I ripped that around in the backyard. And when I turned 7, the parents said, okay, no, he needs a real motorcycle. And they weren't too involved. They just provided. But we had a family friend that went racing. So he said, yep, right on. I'll take him for the weekend. And he took me out to a poker run. He did his thing. I played around in the field, and the next year I came back and signed up for the PB class. And at about 7, I started racing, and it was all downhill from there for sure.
All down. You're like, at 7, they wanted to get me a real motorcycle. I'm like, yeah, sure. At
I was
7 years
hooked.
old, let's get them a real.
They raised them right, guys.
Lucky
they
you.
Raised them right.
Yeah, they raised them right. Shoot, I wish at 7 years old my mom would be like, yo, let's get them a real bike. Like that'd be dope.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I've been hooked. It's in the blood, to say the least.
Very cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I only started my motorcycle journey in 2020 during COVID. Like I'm still new to all of this, but I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy that you're here.
Me too.
Your team, your team on the hood. How did that came about? Like how did that start, and where does it stem from? Who's involved?
So basically, I grew up riding dirt bikes. Honestly, I never even thought a day in my life I'd be on a road race bike. I thought that was the weirdest thing. Why do guys ride sport bikes to work? This is ridiculous. And I was a dirt bike guy, right? Like it never crossed my mind. I didn't follow sport bike racing. I didn't even really know about it. And I ended up dropping out of high school to race motocross professionally. I had a track at my house. I rode 6 hours a day. I was fully committed. And long story short on that, I got hurt. And when you're chasing that type of career, it's all business. You're a piece of meat at the end of the day. And so that road was quickly ended. Well, basically, Squids to Grids is just kind of a reflection on the path that I've had through motorcycle riding and racing. And I went from racing motocross and trying to chase that professionally to just riding my street bike around town, causing problems, doing wheelies in traffic, just having a good time, right?
Me too. Yeah,
and just the ultimate squid. So I had 32 moving violations in less than 12 months.
Whoa, my dude!
I was getting.
Me.
30.
Yeah, I was getting letters
Jules
from
got excited, dropped the phone over there.
I was getting letters from the state.
I dropped my camera phone. I was like 32.
It was bad. Yeah, I got letters from the state telling me that I've got too many tickets in 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. 3 suspensions. My first ticket was a reckless. I admitted to 185.
Whoa.
I just didn't know any better. Yeah, I was 17. They tried to throw me in jail for a month with a clean record, and I admitted all of it.
Okay, guys, this is
I had to pull weeds.
Wow, Cody, that's crazy.
That's
awesome.
kind of
So
badass.
I was a squid.
I
was a squid, right? I was a squid. And somebody pulled me aside and said, "Hey, man, you obviously want to have fun. Let's try to redirect that a little bit." And they took me out to a track, and basically I just finished racing motocross, and I didn't, I didn't know where to direct that ambition and that addiction that I had. So take me to a track day. I do one day, and I go home, and I'm jumping into NRS. Where's the closest one? When is it scheduled? How do I get there? And about a month from that first track day, I did NRS, and 3 novice weekends later, I graduated with the championship as an expert in Oregon.
Nice.
And it was just the fire. Yeah, the fire was lit.
Nice.
I couldn't say no, and I sold everything that I had that was dirt related and went pure pavement road racing, and we're going on 9 years now of just nonstop chasing apexes, missing most of them, but
That's awesome.
Bravo.
That's awesome.
Bravo, Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the team is basically just kind of that progression. Just being a squid and kind of, getting cleaned up and providing a way to redirect all that pent up excitement, so to speak, right?
So,
like we want to have fun.
So who's on your who's on your team?
Plug in.
Who
Plug
helps you
in.
work
Plug
on
in.
the bike,
yeah.
the tires, the warmers, it sets up.
So I've actually got
pit.
I actually have, it's all basically family ran. My grandpa and I have been racing for the last 25 years together. So he's my crew chief this year. And then my best friend growing up, he's my mechanic. As little kids, we talked about, man, wouldn't it be cool if we could go racing? He went to the military. He's a full-time field mechanic for United Rentals. And I called him up this year and said, hey, I need somebody that can do something. And he'll at least try. And so he's wrenching for us this year. Otherwise, it's actually a pretty big network of people. I work with Rebel Riders. They're pretty heavily involved with our total athlete care as far as mobility and the gym side, the fitness side of things, and mental coaching.
Shout out Rebel Riders.
There's they're a huge help. But there's club riders, anything from street all the way up to dirt or pavement road racing. I work with dirt riders. I have coaches all throughout the country that I try to teach our program to, and it's basically a network. I want to be the cheapest coach out there because I want to spend money on tires and track days, right? I don't want to pay somebody thousands of dollars to get their opinion on how I'm sucking.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. So
cheapest track day, you say? Cheapest coaching. Hey,
no, for real, it's a great idea.
College kid,
you're on to something, Cody.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, I don't make any money off of it. I just get to do it. For me, that's the reward.
So tell me about your typical race weekend, as far as prepping to arrive to a track, getting to the track, setting up.
Yo, Chris is
what
going
processes
in
do you
today.
go through to walk everybody through your level of arriving to the track and making it happen?
For sure. So I don't have loads and loads of money, right? I can't
Neither do we.
Yeah, this is a money sport.
Yes,
it's insane.
It is.
At this level, if you go down to the club stuff, it's not too bad. But basically, I kind of have to earn my way through the whole thing. I unload and load a semi every single weekend for the team that's hauling our stuff. So I'm kind of more of a set of hands. I just kind of work through it and pull my weight in that sense, as opposed to pulling out my wallet.
Right.
And we fly out Wednesday, try to show up Thursday morning, skip the hotel fee, sleep on the airplane, and basically kind of stumble out, wander through the track, unload the semi. Thursday is all just set up. Once we get through that, we stay at the track, minimize as much cost as we can. We're not driving to and from rental cars. We're sleeping on a cot in the pit, right? So we're there all day, all night.
True. I witnessed
And,
this. I've seen this. Yes.
Yeah. Hanging out, having a good time with everybody.
You watched them
I
sleep?
did.
Yeah.
There was one time I woke up and I went to the pits. It was really early in Virginia, I went to take a shower and I was like, well, let me see if they're getting ready and stuff like that. And I think
Were you fully
he
clothed
was
coming out the shower
the
before
man.
you visited
Yes, I was
him?
fully clothed. The man was just getting up, probably getting some breakfast or something like that. I asked around and he's like, oh, he's getting ready. So, yeah, I witnessed this. So, yes.
Yeah, we stay at the track. We go racing, right? Like that's the weekend, that's the vacation for us. It's we're going racing, so we're there full time. Yeah, and just doing what we have to get through it. After we get set up Thursday, you can kind of relax a little bit. I own the team that we have put together currently underneath my canopy, so there's a lot of overseeing. You know, who's showing up, who's going to be there, what do we need to do, where are we, what are we missing. And once we get all that stuff done, then I can start being a rider. It takes a while. Usually it's once the helmet goes on, then I get to do my job. Otherwise, it's just a lot of logistics and getting set up, getting prepped. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's when I get to relax a little bit, as long as it all goes good.
Of course.
Sunday, we pack up the semi. We get the hotel that one night. The goal is, Sunday night you get to take a shower, so Monday you don't have to piss everybody off on the airplane. It's we clean up that night, fly back, and I just got back from Philadelphia this morning, so today's my recovery day for sure.
Nice.
Very cool.
Right. And with that being said, bro, like you're way better than me because I can't picture waking up in the morning and seeing Andy get out the shower and coming to visit me. So I don't.
It's half the fun, man. The people there, it's half the fun.
It's all about it's the passion, dude. I woke up early. I was ready to roll. You know what I mean?
Much love.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it.
Exactly. And funny you mentioned when you were like when you were saying like like this is my vacation. Like I get to race. Like even though there's a lot of things that I see that may stress you out, the travel, the expenses and whatnot, you're out here fueling a passion, something that you love. So for the most part, does it feel more of like a damn, I'm actually doing this, or is it more like, oh man, it's a job, damn?
No, it's every single time is definitely bittersweet. You get the full experience on a good weekend, in my opinion. If it's miserable and stressful, you didn't have a good time on the bike, you didn't hang out with the right people, you just, it's a little self-inflicted.
Right.
Like there's so much fun that comes from just being there. I'm traveling the country, racing tracks I've never seen before, tracks I would never get the opportunity to
meeting
see.
good people,
And,
sharing the same passion and love and the energy.
Yeah, and with that, like I could go out and just absolutely demolish a bike and still go back to the pit, see the teammates, see the friends and family, fans,
absolutely.
and it's still a good time, right?
Very
So
cool.
as long as you can keep that mentality or that perspective, it's hard not to have a good time. I'd be a liar if I said, I'm not absolutely stressed out. Like going 170, 180 miles an hour on a bike is something to consider, right? Like, and it's just so precise. There's pressure. There's money backing this stuff. It is work, yes. So I'd be a liar if I didn't say I do go to work on the weekends.
How do you go about getting sponsorship, Cody?
Walk us
through typically
20.
How do you do that? Do you reach out?
I'll put it this way: as classy as I can, man. $20 is $20. Whatever it takes. Like there's guys that'll send PayPal stuff, just pure support, selling T-shirts, just pure. Hey, I really like what you're doing. There's people behind the scenes that really make this happen. Because at the end of the day, it's not in my budget. It's just not. So seriously, whatever it takes, whether it be marketing, just pure, we want to see you do good. Typically, most of it just comes from pure, just good heart. People just wanting to be involved, wanting to back it. I've been standing in line at the food vendor, and somebody saw me wearing my race shirt with my credentials and said, "Hey, man, are you a rider?" Yeah, I rode yesterday. Yep, definitely here, having fun. He goes, "Cool, let me buy you food."
Nice.
Like it's just, just out of nowhere. Him, his kids. It was last year, I think at Wisconsin at Road America. I was standing in line at a vendor, and a guy just turned around and just started talking, and it was a good time, right? So, it's an experience. I can't explain it enough. There's so much to it. The sponsorships behind it really do. If you don't have that, I don't know how people do it. I mean, I would not be out here without the semi that our stuff is in, Veloce Racing. They're an amazing team, good group of guys. They just want to, they just want to help out and see things, go well. It's a great spirit there, and I'm definitely beyond thankful for the opportunity. Got to definitely work for it for sure. There's no handouts, but it's a good experience. And same thing, Rebel Riders. It's if I don't have that support, I'm not there. It's
that
not
sounds
happening.
awesome, Cody. It sounds like
I
you're
thank you for
surrounded.
being here and supporting us. Sorry, go ahead, Andy.
No, I was gonna say it sounds awesome. The group of people that you have surrounding yourself around. It sounds like you're around a really good team. So that sounds awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't complain. I definitely can't. I'm on the bike. When it comes to work, I have no excuses. I'm on an older bike and it does amazing. I get to throw a leg over it, no questions asked. It's a good program. I'm definitely happy with it, and to be family funded and to have everybody involved, it's a good time. It is a vacation.
Cody, are you
for
able
sure.
to?
So tell everybody what you ride.
Currently?
Yes.
So currently we're on a 2015 BMW S1000RR.
Sex machine.
Oh man,
Yes,
it's a ripper.
It's a gorgeous.
It's exciting. And what I really like telling people, and a lot of guys get upset about this one, it's got 6,000 original race miles, original clutch. We put fuel in it. We change the oil. We change the oil filter. We look it over. EDR down in Oregon tunes it for us. They've done amazing work. This bike has lasted so long, and I've been so hard on it that I deserve whatever it decides to do from here on out, hands down. It's been amazing. These engines are lasting 1,500 miles. We're pushing 6,000.
Nice.
We're still top 20 in nationals.
Very cool.
So
Still
BMW.
That's awesome.
Now, when you brought up the interesting point about a lot of the sport revolves around money and sponsors, right? So, like I said, I'm new to the sport, and I come from an area, and these guys hear the story plenty of times, but I come from a sport of basketball, right? I grew up playing basketball. Basketball is my thing. Now, in basketball, you do well in high school, you get recruited by colleges, full ride scholarships. You do well in college, you get called up by the NBA, right? So there's not too much money invested in basketball, but they can just get to the highest level based on their talent level. In motorsports, agree or disagree, you can be an incredibly talented rider. If you don't have the bike to support that talent, you're screwed. So sponsors, and I want to make it clear to like, casual viewers or people who are just getting into the sport, sponsors are so important. And the stories that these guys are incredible in the way that they're like just like scouring for extra parts or for better parts and a newer bike and whatnot. It's definitely a struggle, Cody, and I'm pretty sure you can attest to that, man.
Yeah, it's so usually I try to take the open approach and think that I can ride around that. I can figure it out. I can make this work. And we're at a point in our career now, 9 years of road racing, 3 years professional. I can honestly say that my program is holding me back in a sense that if I don't have brand new tires, and when I go out on track in my head, I'm asking myself, when are these tires going to fall off? Are they still good? Every corner is a question. When you put a brand new set of rubber on there, that box is gone. You don't have to wonder, are they good? Yeah, they're new. You just paid $406. They're going to work. As long as your setup's good, everything's there. Right? And so that mentality, that situation drives all of this up financially, because there's guys out there going on a fresh rubber every single session they go out, brand new rubber. That rider can check that box and go, no.
Yeah.
How's the bike feel? Okay, suspension, pressures, and it just eliminates factors. So if you have that backing, you have less to worry about mentally riding the bike. You just go out, you do your job, you hit your marks, you come back, you tell the crew that, hey, the bike's doing this, the bike's doing that. And there's engineers involved. There's so much backing and resources that these bikes, if they're not set up, if you don't have it, like Jules said, it's just not there. It's definitely part of the battle for sure.
Yeah, because and this is not taken away from the guys who who have these seats. at all. Everyone's a talented rider in their own way. To even compete in MotoAmerica, you need to be a beast. So like for example, Cody, like who's to say that your performance is gonna skyrocket if you were on a Titler's BMW, for example. Like that would probably
I'd get worked.
Game.
Night and day, right? So it's a double-edged sword. If I had the best tool in the game, I still need to be capable of using that tool.
Right.
It's such an animal.
Right.
It's such a powerhouse. These guys are just absolute, I
Animals.
borderline think they're not quite human.
Right.
It's debatable.
Aliens.
The things that they can do, like, it's just, I can't wrap my head around it. And it's no doubt that if you don't have the rider, the tool's not going to be used appropriately. So there's no taking away from that.
True.
Of course, and I to relate to that, because I was watching Netflix's Drive to Survive, which is a documentary on Formula One, and like, you know, a lot of people were like, oh, if you had Lewis Hamilton's car, do you think you'd be performing so much better? And a lot of the riders, 90% of the time, said hell yeah. So like, all of you guys are incredibly talented, but it's just like, you know, what if you had the golden tools to help support that talent? How much more even, and the budget, how much more of an even playing field would it be? But to see, you said that those guys up there are superhuman, they're aliens. I think all of y'all are freaking aliens to do what you guys are doing.
Absolutely.
Like you guys put your body out. You guys put your body out there at 180, 190 miles an hour, just risking neck and back and everything, just to do what
I like
you
to
love.
say
I think is already alienish.
You have to have a screw loose.
You do.
If common sense steps, if common sense steps into play, you start questioning life choices immediately, and you can't have that mindset. You have to go out. Like I said, it is work. It is work.
Yeah.
You have to go out and get your job done.
Leave your brain
in a
the
sense,
pits
you
and
have
go
to
out.
be a little. Yeah, turn it off.
Yep,
Just turn it off.
Go out.
So that must mean Mark Marquez is a total blackout in his head then every time he gets on the track.
Straight blackout.
Because this dude does not think, just move.
Yeah, pure feel.
That's awesome.
Pure feel. Now, and Andy's the one that knows you more than all of us. So, Andy, I'm gonna let you have the floor on this, man. You look like you're itching to say something.
Yeah, no, I know Cody I met Cody at the 1000cc page, and he's one of the moderators there. I got a chance to actually meet him in Atlanta. I spent some time with him in his box. Typically him between races, and he takes time to wrench with his guys and stuff like that. Took some time to chat with me about a couple issues. He mentioned where he managed to get his bike, and that he had to do some sort of repairs to get the bike up to MA standards. Is that right, Cody?
Yeah, it's there's typically at the start of the season, there's usually a couple of hiccups there just to get things rolling, and then it kind of falls back to me using an older bike that's tired. There's she's got some character, so every once in a while I gotta, get her hair done, get the nails done, make sure I treat her right, and then it goes good.
Manicure, pedicure.
Otherwise, it just needs a little love, just a little love.
A little TLC, baby, I got you.
What else I found out? I experienced for the first time while I was in hanging out with Cody about tire rotation on the rim. I don't know if you remember that, Cody. That was the first time I ever experienced that, and that was with him, and that was amazing to me because I always read about this on magazines, but I never actually got to experience it. And I experienced with him, and it probably shifted from the wheel when it was set on the tire, maybe like, I would say 15 to like 18 degrees of spin. And to me, that was a lot, And Cody explained me what people tend to use to try to glue the wheel to the rim so there's no wheel spin. We spoke about female hairspray, right, Cody?
Jeez.
That blew my mind.
Yeah, so you can use, there's a few different things you can do out there. A lot of guys prefer, if they can, a full-on dry mount, no fluids, anything at all. And it's just, you would need that grit. We're playing with 200 horsepower to the tire. Right. We've actually spun a couple of them 180 degrees this season easily.
Right.
What really blows my mind, I haven't done it myself yet, but I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen guys shift front wheels. So they're getting some type of wheel spin in the front, either under braking or something somehow is rotating that tire.
I would say under braking,
one of my mentors in Oregon did it. it just, I don't want to think about what's
Now
doing
that's
that.
it. That's
It's a
amazing
lot.
to experience this, guys.
Leave
To
it.
read about it in a magazine and experience it for the first time is freaking amazing. Now, also Cody had experienced some shift issues this last time in Jersey. Managed to get into the quali and for that, right, Code?
Yeah, so I've actually got two BMWs that we use. We've been club racing these things for a long time, and I crashed my 2016 at Buttonwillow with AFM, and it had an electrical gremlin. The quick shifter was intermittent. It wasn't a consistent issue. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. So we put it in the corner and we raced the 15. And this year, I wanted to get the 16 back out because it's got a little less mileage on it. It's a
Okay.
little fresher in a sense. And with that, that quick shifter issue came right along with it. So I actually had to race the first couple of rounds with no quick shifter, no auto blip, just me and my left hand clutching, and
Old school.
just had to get around it. And yeah, that's where
Yeah.
that, you know, if it's in
Old
front of
school.
me, I'll deal with it
Right.
and
Straight
just get
badass.
right into it. It was interesting getting back to the Reb matches. I've been spoiled with that auto blip. It changes the game
It
for
does
sure.
change it, right?
But
Yeah.
we did.
Must
Yeah,
be
we got that
nice.
dialed back in, and we dropped seconds just by me being able to just ride and not have to think about it.
Must be nice. I got a '07 GSXR 750 with no electronics, so I
Yeah,
ain't having my bacon saved, bro.
that's all right. It builds character.
It does.
It does. It does. It does. And like I have some knucklehead friends who started off on like newer models as their first bike, and I'm like, bro, learn how to learn the mechanics of your bike before you even touch electronics. This is more of me because my favorite bike, Andy knows this. My favorite bike is the RSV4, and then before that or after that would be the S1000RR. Why did you choose to race a BMW? Because I feel like a lot of people, you know, race the Ninjas, the Suzukis, or the Japanese bikes because parts are more plentiful, they're cheaper, yada yada yada. So why the S1K?
So it was actually kind of just situational. I've always been a Yamaha guy myself. I've had almost every generation of R1. My first street bike is 17. The one that got me in trouble was an '03 R1 full custom bike. And then we got a '05, the '07, 15, 16. So it's safe to say I was hooked on the R1s.
Right.
But my last R1 had a factory transmission recall, just machining issues back at the motherland there. And the bike ended up basically destroying itself. It locked up in fifth gear, shifting down to second.
Oh.
Had about
Yikes.
180.
Oh.
I was fifth, sixth gear going into turn one at Portland, dropping down to second. The rear end locked up and took me off track. We thought it was me just being lazy with my foot. Put it back in the trailer, took it home, went back to the Ridge for another club weekend, and it did it again. So it was inconsistent, but it happened again about lap 3. Same thing, sixth, fifth gear shifting down. It just locked up. I mean, I pulled my clutch in and my back tire seized
Wow.
at the end of the
Oh my
straight.
God.
So, yeah, it wasn't a good situation. We took it back in. Long story short, I got a completely brand new engine that was sourced from a race shop. I can't talk about it too much because Yamaha took really good care of me
Good.
in that
Okay.
sense of being a customer.
That's good.
Yeah, my teammate had a BMW, and he couldn't get the smile off his face. He's putting in moto after moto while I'm sitting here looking at this bike that's just not giving me a good time. And I
jacked
got a
this
little
bike.
bitter. No, I bought wheels. I bought BMW wheels before I left the track when my bike decided to shear a water pump shaft
Oof.
on lap 2. And it cost me
Oh,
about
God,
2
Jesus.
seasons. Yeah, I had that bike for 2 years and sold it with 900 miles on it. So he talked me into it. He was having such a good time with it. He says the easiest bike to ride, and we jumped in head first, bought wheels before we even had a bike. We went up to a dealership in Tacoma. They put me on that 2016, and yeah, we got 2 of them now. So
Nice.
and I'm going to update just by the rule book. It's an unfortunate necessary evil in a sense that my bikes are officially too old to compete with MotoAmerica. So I'm forced to upgrade to a new or current generation bike, which again, money. I don't have it, right? I was happy to get home and be able to get some groceries today, let alone go buy a brand new
Gotcha.
bike and build it. So
what's the year
it's
minimum they require for Moto America?
I don't know if it's a specific number per, like, across the board. I believe it's based on manufacturers
I gotcha.
because it's all generation. It's based on the VIN.
I gotcha.
So my 2015-16 is different from the 17-18. So I could purchase a 17-18 frame and get 2 more years of Moto America and use
But
my
why?
current engine, my suspension, everything. Because on paper, it's a new bike.
Got it.
It's a new gen bike.
Right.
Right.
And or I can get the current generation and get 5 years. So if I reframe it, I got to refresh my engines to stay competitive. By the time I buy a frame, build an engine.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are buying salvaged bikes and turning them into these race bikes. So we're actually looking for a salvaged S1000
Okay.
RR, and we're gonna take that, clean it up.
I saw
And,
your post. I saw your
rip it.
post today,
So-
Cody. I read it. You were trying to get rid of what you have and searching for something else. So very cool. I hope you find something for you, man. Good luck to you.
Me too. Yep,
Yeah,
me too.
that's the only way I can stay in it. So if I'm not able to get something coming, I have to bow out, unfortunately, just per the rule book. So it's definitely frustrating as a rider because I feel competitive on my old bike, and I think I could give them a run for it.
Right.
But it is what it is. So
Now,
we'll play
guys,
the money game.
I want to point
just gotta
out.
figure out how.
'Cause, Cody, you take, so you travel out to these places and you qualify. Now, with the current machine that you have, you're not qualifying first, second, or third. You're qualifying in the back, and it's scary because there's possibility of you actually having to pack on Thursday and having to go home. Correct?
Yeah, it's happened. It was a reality that I wasn't ready for. I actually got 2 quick little stories on that. So last year was my first time driving on the road and committing to a full season, and I drove myself and my teammate all the way to Atlanta. I pulled his tire warmers, he pulled mine. It was a good budget program. And 3.5 days of driving, I get to a track I've never seen before. The pressure was real. It was definitely overwhelming.
Right.
And if I remember right, I missed the cutoff time by
Man.
about 0.2 of a second that weekend. And then we go to round 2, Virginia, and I was fired up. I wasn't letting that happen again, right? Like, that taste was still in my mouth. So we pulled it out there a little bit more and threw a little bit more into it, and I made the show. Then we go to round 3. This one hits hard because I qualified. I made the show, but per FIM ruling, track saturation, any road course over 2.5 miles will allow 39 bikes on track. Less than 2.5 miles, they let 36 bikes out. So we're on a 4-mile long track, right? Q1, I was in the mid-lower 20s on the grid, and Q2, I'm learning the track, trying to figure it out, but 47 guys showed up that weekend. We broke a record that weekend for stock.
That's a lot of bikes.
Whoa.
And
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, 47, right, for stock
Yes.
1,000. Big bikes, big budgets, like, we're going for it. And it was really fun to be a part of. But I got qualified back to 40th. So I knew on Q1 I qualified. I made the show. I ran my lap times. We're in. I got my golden ticket, right? I'm going. So Q2, I go out riding a little bit more reserved because I need to save my tires. I need to save my energy.
Right.
And unfortunately, everybody else went faster. So I went from in the mid-20s to 40th. And I was the first one that didn't get to play based on track saturation.
Oh, man.
That's freaking wild.
Still, I had my ticket and I still had
That's
to go
sad.
home with it.
That's heartbreaking. Now, Cody, you have mentioned
Yeah.
a lot of conversations on the podcast just for the last 35 minutes, and you talk a lot about tires. And you sent me a picture yesterday, and I don't know if you feel comfortable speaking about it, but I'm dying to know, dude. Tell us this story, man.
Yeah. It's I don't want to say I'm ashamed of it, but it is what it is, right? Like, if you guys want me there racing, then I take can't take it too rough. But long story short, man, there's some budgets out here that they go out on brand new tires every time, and they might put 8 laps on that tire, and they're gonna toss it.
I got those tires.
They're gonna get a fresh tire, and that tire is gonna go to the garbage pile, right? Yeah, I got a lot of them. Unfortunately, the budget and whatnot, I can't afford brand new tires. So I may or may not hang out later in the evenings or middle of the day. I don't. There's no
That's
shame in my
awesome,
game.
dude.
If it's not marked,
I love it.
If it's
if
I
free
there's
love
for
it.
no
me,
name,
Yeah.
if it doesn't say save, if it doesn't say 10 laps, if somebody's rider number, if that is unclaimed, and if I can use it, I'm using it. I can't afford to buy
fuck
brand new
yeah.
tires, but I'll pick through those scraps of these big budget teams, and I will definitely take that scrap tire and I will milk it.
That's right.
It's just a
I
budget
so
program. You know, you
respect
got to do
that.
what you got to do. If I could buy
Hell
brand
yeah.
new tires, I think if I could buy brand new tires, and that's what I mean by earlier, where my program is kind of holding me back. I do feel like if I was
Yes,
on
of
fresh
course.
tires, I'd ride at this level. Where if I'm on takeoffs, I ride right here, right?
Right.
So if I can start up here, I can build up.
Right.
So in a sense
Yeah.
that fresh tires are a necessity. I see where it comes from. Mentally, just it's a must. So that's our next step is up the tire budget, stop picking through the scraps, even though they work, they do
Very
good.
cool. I
So
love that.
Yeah, because on Friday, I was working at Turn 5, so I got a chance to see you race in person, and that's the only turn that I was watching. But I was just watching like every single time you took that apex. I'm like, yo, he's really cutting these lines. But at least from what I see, he's really cutting these lines pretty well. Shoot. So like, just imagine if you actually did have the stuff that you needed. That then you would have. It would have been you probably would have leaps and bounds past what you're currently performing in.
I think that we could be competitive, absolutely. There's
agree.
been some moments on track where I get a tow from some of these guys that are world-class riders, and I can keep them in sight for, it might be a turn or two only, but I can still keep them there. I can latch on and I can learn something. So if I can get that seat time and I can get that budget, I do confidently feel like I could be competitive. It is on my list. I want a stock 1,000 championship. And the bucket list is I want a track record. I don't care if it's for 10 seconds, the guy behind me beats it. I don't care.
For that,
I want a
yes.
track record
Yes.
at a competitive track. Just a bucket list road racer goal to kind of put on the resume that's on my championship track record until I
The
get
man
those.
is hungry. I
I'll be
love it.
hungry.
I love it.
Absolutely.
That's it. Me too. Me too.
Feed him.
Me too.
Feed him. Go ahead, Chris.
So what's your goals for 2023, Cody?
So kind of touching back on that program thing, we're actually potentially dialing back a little bit, which it really hurts me to say that. But I have to keep an honest opinion and not, get too cloudy with the dreams, right? So the budget's not there. So if I do less rounds, but I put more effort into those rounds, and I can show that those results are going to be in that effort and that budget, I'm hoping that an opportunity will come up.
Right.
So we're actually talking about doing less rounds, and we're going to pick up a supermoto.
Nice.
I have a dirt
Okay.
background,
Nice.
so yeah, I tried supermoto last
I
weekend,
seen
and
that. You
I'm
won.
hooked.
You won.
We had a
Yeah.
good. It was a good time. We did 18 motos and podiums, 6 of the mains, 6 of the 9 mains. So definitely, it's a good cross training, and it's going to allow me to feel better mentally. I came into New Jersey just feeling like $1,000,000 after riding supermoto all weekend.
So we
That's-
caught you at a good time.
Hey,
It was
Cody,
good. Yeah, that was one of my best
I'm sorry,
weekends.
Juice. Let me cut you in.
Heck yeah,
Last
like-
week, I went in on the penalty issue that, well, not a penalty. So there was a comment on the internet talking about penalties being handed out this weekend because some of you guys perform in this endurance thing. The
Race.
endurance race the weekend before. Obviously, nothing panned out of that, right, Cody?
Yeah, so it's kind of going back into that rule book thing, and this is a very strict sport. It's very business oriented. You're not allowed to ride the track a certain amount of days prior to the events, if depending on your status with the club. So if you are a seasoned contender, you have less opportunities to ride that track. If you're a weekend warrior, you're doing one round, you can ride those tracks days up to the event. Where if you're a season rider, you have different expectations. Endurance racing is actually excluded. And then they also go as far as you can't ride your bike. So if you ride a different bike, then so there's workarounds, right? Yeah, and so these guys are getting out there and they're getting seat time at the tracks prior to the race weekend. And it still, again, touches on the budget. They're able to fly out across the country, set up for 2 days, rip this motorcycle on practice, fly home, fly back out, go racing, where the rest of us are pinching pennies just going, all right, I got my tickets to the race weekend, I can get there. Some of us are sleeping in the cars, driving back every time. Yeah, just do whatever it takes. So if you have that support, that opportunity, that rule book really does have to come into play, because these teams would be, I bet they'd probably spend a good week at a track if they could, just testing and getting data just to come out and make sure they can dominate.
Yeah.
Danilo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right?
Yeah.
Forget Danilo. Man, if you need a new bike, I'm pretty sure there's a couple knuckleheads here in New York that have some 2021 BMWs that they already crashed. So I'm pretty sure you get one of those things, man. Just run up there with the boys. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised, because the New York the New York law now is that they're pulling people's bikes over that are like unregistered and whatnot, and then now they're confiscating them. Yeah. So it's gotten a little scary here. So I'm pretty sure there's a couple Beamers out there that you can go ahead and snag. And if you see one extra one, let me know, because I'm trying to get one for myself.
Okay.
I want to ask you
we're looking
like left field question. As a fellow Beamer lover, right? Asymmetrical headlights or the new Falcon headlights? Which one do you like? Because I personally like the asymmetrical headlights.
I like the asymmetrical. They stood apart. It was when you see it, it's a BMW. That was a BMW. The asymmetrical headlights and the shark fins on one side, not both.
Yeah. All right.
Right, on one side. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
they did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chris?
So no matter which side you're looking at,
cool.
You know what it is.
It is. All right. So I actually have 2 questions for you. One a technical, one a non so technical. Do you follow any other motorsports besides road racing in general, as far as like MotoGP? Do you do like Formula One, rally racing? Do you watch any of that? The other question, real quick, Cody, I have is during a race weekend, when you're setting up your motorcycle, how often do you mess with spring rates, as far as like rear shock spring rates, front spring rates, trailing rate, swing arm length? Do you do any of that, or is it basically a one setup per year? I set it up for my race sag, and just rebound and compression during the weekends here and there, and that's basically it.
My man's going in.
You gotta forgive me.
Sorry.
I've been riding a lot. I've hit my head a lot, so I already forgot your first question. Short-term memory loss. I couldn't tell you what I had for dinner last night, so you'll have to remind me on the first one, but we'll tackle the second one. Right. So, yeah, you catch me on it. It comes back to the program. For me as a rider, I grew up with a set it and forget it mentality. Dirt bikes, the track changes every lap, right? So you get what you get. We're now at a point where the more we work on the bike, the more questions that we ask, the more that we learn, the better I do. The easier the bike gets to ride. So I'm seeing teams go out, let's say they go on track 5 times. I've watched this team change suspension valving 5 times. And the riders don't always know. It's all subject to the feedback. Right. How does the bike look? How does it feel? Why are your lap times here when we know that you can do this? Why are you doing this? And it really does come down to setup. For me as a rider, I like taking something, and when I have a complaint, I'll address it. Otherwise, if somebody says, hey, this track is really, really rough, take out 2 turns of preload and slow the compression down. If that's what's necessary for that track, then we'll do it. Otherwise, I like to take what I used the last round and try it out. I remember what that was like. I'm confident with that setup. And it just does something to me mentally. When I watch somebody change the whole bike, my head goes, well, now what am I riding? I don't know what that's going to do. So if I can get on it and then find a complaint or find something that I can't do or it's doing really well, then we build off of that. So the goal is minimal work. I've done as far as nothing to the bike all the way to spring rate, wheelbase, ride height, suspension settings, tire pressures, gearing, all in one go, just because somebody said, why are you riding that? That's absolutely wrong. And we just didn't know any better.
Right.
So when the right person comes in and says to do something, we'll do it. Otherwise, we go by feel, and definitely whatever we got to do to adjust and make my life easier.
To make you more comfortable. Right. Absolutely.
To make it more comfortable.
Yeah.
Andy, your camera
Yeah.
I'm back. I went out for a second.
Oh, you're okay.
Your camera is
Yeah. A little sideways there.
Sideways.
I think. There you go. There's that pretty
There you
face.
go.
And I think the first question that he asked Cody, I remember he was like, "Are you into like any other like motorsports besides like your occasional?"
That's right.
MotoGP?
Yeah. So the best way I can put it, I'm an addict.
No.
If I'm not doing it, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to think about it because I want to do it really bad all the time. So I actually have a hard time sitting back and watching a lot of these motorsports. I just want to be involved, and it's hard for me to really sit back and be a spectator. So in that sense, I actually don't follow that much. I don't have a MotoGP pass. I'll follow a little bit of the MotoAmerica stuff just to do some research and studying, but otherwise,
Right.
I'm usually fiending a little too hard to sit there and go through that punishment.
Do you ever play any video
Right.
games? Do you play PS5 or Xbox, or do you do anything like that? Shooting? Are you into guns?
My man, Chris.
Yeah, do you guys shoot guns? I mean,
I do, yeah. So I'll
soccer,
actually,
tennis.
it's all racing for me. I do the video games just to get my mental state out of work and to kind of just check out for a little bit. But
Amen.
definitely it's all racing related. Yeah, we're losing you guys, or you're losing me, one of the two.
I can still see you.
We're here.
You're kind of frozen.
Okay, I just
All
lost
right,
your
I
guys'
see you.
cameras. All right.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm lazy. It's
All good.
This
yeah, it's just one of those things for me.
this makes me feel like I'm so much
If I
related.
can't partake in it, I want to. So the video games, I can get involved.
What games do you play? What games?
So I actually picked up Ride 4 just because the first 3 rounds of Moto America are on there. So that's
Yep.
kind of how I learned those 3 rounds.
Nice.
Just to get a visual to kind of pick up some muscle memory mentally.
Breaking markers.
And otherwise, I'll do a lot of I'll do first person shooters. Just I'm a gamer. I'll play a lot of
Duty.
different games.
All right.
So that means
That means
Yeah.
we need
I
you.
we
on
need
our
to get
Pin
up.
the Gas
Yes,
game
we need
cast.
to get on a plane
Hey,
with us then.
Here comes the invite, Cody. Here comes the invite,
Yeah,
Cody.
yeah. Here comes the
Yeah.
invite.
Because Cody,
Yeah.
we're trying to do
We'll
this
get into
thing
it.
where it's like nobody really does it, but it's like we'll play a game, but we'll also like podcast while we're gaming. You know what I mean? Like, while we're playing
Yeah.
Call of Duty and you're getting shot up, we'll be like, yo, so like, how was turn 6? You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, focus. You know what I mean?
I'd be up
So-
for that. Yeah, it's another challenge. It'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, when the season's over, like when everyone's just calmed down and like you're like just calm from that high of racing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the downtime's hard for us. It really is. If we're not riding, we got to do something. So it's
Always
That'd be
training, always
refreshing.
training. Got to keep the body moving and exercise. That's right.
yep.
Bro, hitting the gym, you know what I mean? Just like
Oh yeah.
Supermoto.
not like what's your training regimen like, man? Like is do you get some time at the gym, do some push-ups? Like what do you do? Healthy diet? I don't know.
Yeah, so I definitely you have to be involved. There are some guys that blow my mind, and they come out here. I met one gentleman last year. He was a big boy. He was a really big boy, and the things that man could do on the brakes, I can't wrap my head around it. This guy was 300 plus pounds, and at nationals, he's beating me in the braking zone. And all I can think is, if his front tire can do that, mine should be able to do that. And so I picked up from that, and it was just mind blowing to see that happen. So it's kind of it's an interesting subject, right? You go to the gym. I go about an hour to 2 hours a day, 4 to 5 days a week, between weightlifting and cardio. I try to stay active and try to stay fit, so that when I get off my bike, I'm not tired, I'm not winded, I don't make mistakes due to getting fatigued.
Right.
So it definitely is a necessity. But there are some guys out there that, if you saw it, I got a picture of it. I'll send it to you guys later on. But I'm coming into a corner, and he's behind me, and he's about twice as big as I am at a minimum. He's big boy.
All right.
The Holland.
Nice.
So that goes to show to the people who say that, who are involved in motorsports, that they're not athletes. Eat your heart out,
So-
because these guys are athletes.
So I'm taking.
like
Yeah, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it?
That's it.
exactly, because I got into an argument with somebody. They're like oh, like motorcycle racing's not as athletic as like soccer or whatever. I was like, bro, these guys are about, like, they're in a sport where they're about to kill themselves. Like soccer, I could get hit by a soccer ball, but I can't take a 180-mile crash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, we all, man. Like,
Yeah, I'm wrestling well over 400 pounds at high speeds. It's a true wrestling match.
That's it.
So for me, that's why I work out and go to the gym. My diet is where I cut corners. I mean, I just I like to eat my food and enjoy myself.
That's
That's
okay.
my mental sanity. So
you deserve it,
That's
bro.
it.
I'll go to the gym and work out, but I still pack my lunch around for
He
sure.
was tearing up the taco stand over the weekend.
Yo, that taco truck. I forgot what
I
it was
saw
called.
you. I saw you.
Oh, it was so fire, yo. Oh my god. Like I don't even know the name of that truck, but
I only got to try one of
them.
them out. I did that.
Which one did you get?
Yeah, I went to the one that had that wood fire grill. They were cooking all the
Oh,
steak.
yeah, I saw.
They had the
Oh,
longest
the one on the
line.
side.
I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
So
but
so
for us,
so Cody, are
yeah,
you
off
going
to
to
the right.
Barber
That
this
was-
year? Are you going to the next round?
I'm sorry, Chris. You asking me? Okay, so yeah,
No,
I
no.
think
yeah. So
Cody.
the flights are booked.
Okay.
very cool.
Oh, I think the question
Yeah,
was going to Cody.
Yeah. I was
So y'all
asking
both
Cody
answered at
who
the
was
same
going
time.
to the- And so what
Signal's
rounds
cutting
are you
out a
planning
little
on
bit.
going to next year? Did you already have that kind of set in your mind of exactly where you're going to go next year, as far as what races you're going to attend in 2023?
So I caught. It was cutting out. I got you guys back now. I caught the Barber part. I am going to be going to Barber. Yes. We've got flights booked. The goal this year was to hit every single round, qualify every round. So that's a must. And then 23, we haven't decided yet on what we're going to do. There's some rumors going around. I'll share it just because it's a rumor. I'll start off with that.
Okay.
So don't come to my house with pitchforks just because I might be wrong. It happens. But supposedly they're going to run certain classes on certain weekends, but every weekend that you ride, you'll get 2 races. So
No,
if
he
that's the
left me,
case,
yeah.
then we might be able to still pursue
No,
the Stock
no.
1000 season.
Wait, Cody. You
Wait,
kind.
run that back.
Still hear
Yeah,
me?
you kind now. Rewind that back.
Yes.
That back.
Yep.
Perfectly
Can you hear me?
now. Yes.
Yes.
There we go. I got lean to the
Okay.
right.
All right, there you go.
So tell.
All right.
So basically, they're cutting out. Yeah, man, my signal's having a hard time.
It's okay.
Can you
Yeah,
guys
we
hear
can
me?
hear you. We can hear
Yeah,
you
we
just
can hear
fine.
you,
Yes.
Yes.
Started off at rumor.
Okay. So yeah, it's the rumor is basically that they're going to be running certain classes on certain weekends. So if you do run, you will get 2 races because that's one of the big complaints right now. I raced once last weekend and that was it. I went on track 4 times. It's kind of rough. So if that's the case, then we might be able to pursue just the Stock 1000 weekends, knowing that I don't have to do all 9.
Okay.
So we'll see how that turns out. I'm waiting to see the schedule before we make any concrete decisions.
Well, you better get your ass here to Jersey, because I swear to God.
VIR.
Oh,
Yeah,
VIR.
got to be a VIR, Cody.
The pressure.
Yeah, if it was up to me, I'd go to all of them. I want to do all of them. I think I'll throw it out there. I think MotoAmerica should do one more day.
Yeah.
If we ran all the classes every round.
Yeah.
It's going to bring all the viewerships up. We're going to unfortunately have to spend more money. Not cool. But we'll be buying more tires, more race fuel. If Thursday was a live day, a hot track day, we could get more seat time. We could run more motos. Everybody would get more quality track time. And we wouldn't have to cut from the riders and the racers that put in all this effort. So if we could pick up one more day and be a long weekend, but I don't know who doesn't want more racing. So
Absolutely.
What's your favorite
track?
Yeah,
though?
dude, I was getting ready to say that,
Oh
Joe.
shit!
Dude,
Oh,
what's your
that's
favorite
Chris.
track? That's my next question.
These guys,
My
they're
man,
on fire
Chris.
today, Cody. They're on fire,
show.
both of them.
Can you hear us?
yeah, sorry, it's cutting out. So what was the question?
Yeah.
Favorite track?
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I would have to say Laguna. I got a few different favorite tracks just based on characteristics.
Oh no, the signal's cutting out again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut this.
Yeah, it's saying disconnected, but you're still there. I would say Laguna. Yeah, Laguna's the favorite track. It's the facilities, the experience.
The corkscrew.
It's hard to beat. That's hands down my number one.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
The corkscrew looks like
Every track
death.
has something different,
It
right?
does.
It's something different, but every track has a feature that you won't see somewhere else. So there's things that you'll
Yeah.
find that you just really like, and there's some things that you'll just really hate.
The corkscrew, I can't seem to get it on any video game. Like Ride 4, I'm nasty at MotoGP 20 and I still can't get the corkscrew. MotoGP 22 is worse. I still can't get the corkscrew. Laguna's saying I'm
late
so
turn in.
terrible.
Way late turn in.
Late turn in.
Yes.
Yeah, you got some
turn in.
pointers for us because we play MotoGP 22 a lot,
Yeah.
and we're like, what the
sucks, yeah.
fuck? Like, I
It's
feel like
so it's an entry corner. You need to do a late turn in, and what you get at the top is what you get at the bottom. So if you're messing it up, you're doing it at the beginning.
Right.
It's you
Okay.
slow it down, get your position. It's one of those things that if you don't do it right, you're doing it wrong, guaranteed.
Laguna tonight, boys. MotoGP, what's good?
Yes, sir.
Freaking and because like my riding style when it comes to these because Ride 4 and MotoGP 20, I won't lie, I'm type nasty. Something on MotoGP 22 doesn't make sense, and I'm trying to figure that out. But my riding style, and I guess, you know, memes come up of this podcast, but I got like a top rack type riding style. You know what I'm saying? You know, like late break, aggressive into the turn, and I think that's what's
Hitting it.
shooting me in the foot with corkscrew. With the corkscrew.
Yeah, so slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
That's right. Hey.
God damn it. So no top rack style. No top rack style.
I have a question for you, Cody. What do you think your best attribute is riding a motorcycle? Like, are you really good on the brakes? Are you really good coming off the apex? Are you really good entering the corner? What is your best quality of riding a motorcycle?
So I probably take the most pride in late braking when I get comfortable and I know I've got a good tire and a good setup there. But it's actually my biggest downfall too. So somebody pointed out to me, they said, you know, yeah, you're going to gain 3 bike lengths on the brakes, but you're going to lose 5 when you miss your apex.
Right.
So it's definitely it's a downside. But when it comes to making a pass, I'll stuff it in there. I'll put it on the inside and make them deal with it.
Nice.
So meaning to say he has a top rack riding style. Then.
Quality.
You know,
Yeah.
just throwing it in there. You know what I mean? Just gotta throw a little top rack Rasgaliola because that guy is the future. But yeah, man, it's sick. Like in addition to what he said, it was sick just like watching you like live, just taking that turn 5 and just diving into there like. Oh man, it was adrenaline pump. I'm like, man, I'm actually watching this guy do this live. Like, it's just holy crap, he's right.
The camera
in front of me.
doesn't do it justice. Yeah, the camera really
camera
doesn't do it any justice.
It doesn't, and I encourage people all the time. I'm telling Chris, Andy can agree with this.
Yes.
On me. The TV's cool. Being a spectator is cool, but being a volunteer, actually working on the track and being as close to the track as possible to the action, there's nothing that can replace it. Like
It's the best seat in the house.
It's the best.
Yes, it is. It really is. So outside, I guess for me, outside of motorcycle racing, you did no other sport. There was no other sport that you tried.
So growing up as a kid, I stayed active. I did mixed martial arts for a little bit, but I did that to train for motorcycle racing. I can't find anything that replicates the exercise that I get on my motorcycle until I went and wrestled a 6 foot, 200+ pound man.
Right.
That takes everything you have. Like you're throwing around some meat, and that was a great cross training for me physically. I would feel as sore, if not worse. Granted, you're getting punched at the same time, so there's a catch-22. But that one caught me for a few years. It's props to the short-term memory loss there. Don't get kicked in the head.
The little CTE.
Yeah, and then mountain biking, we did a lot of that. I snowboarded for about 8 years. I grew up in an outdoor town. It was a small town, so if you weren't out doing stuff, you were inside doing other things that we just definitely didn't care to partake on.
All right, so it's just anything that can match the adrenaline of racing a motorcycle.
Yeah,
literally anything. So you weren't like you're not into like UFC, right?
I follow it. I won't pay to watch the shows or fights, but I'm the guy that's poaching off of YouTube once it's on there for sure.
Me too, Cody. I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm the same way. I'm like, I ain't paying for it, but I'll watch it for free on Facebook, baby.
Yeah.
Because you know how much World Superbike is charging people to watch a whole season? Yo.
I can't imagine.
Chris pays for it. I don't know how the fuck you pay for it, son.
Dude, I pay for that. MotoGP every year. That's my religion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we appreciate it, right? Because it's guys like that are jumping in, and they're diehards. They're paying to watch, and that's a big part that why we get to do what we do. So I do appreciate it, Chris.
Yeah, no problem.
And anybody's willing to jump in and support this type of stuff, I'm a big fan
World
of it for
Superbike,
sure.
MotoGP every year, hands down, credit card out, boom, boom, boom. Wife says every year she's like, God damn it, Chris, $170 for MotoGP, fucking $90 for MotoAmerica, another $85 for World Superbike. What the fuck? I'm like, you got your 19 purses and your yada yada yada. One love, baby.
And Andy just got into MotoAmerica this year. I take full credit. Andy, I got you into MotoAmerica.
Well, the whole thing started with a $50 bet at Coda, so I had to come through and find out what's going on.
Because this man said, Cody, like, yo, I'll bet you that Petrucci sweeps the season. I was like,
did.
No.
Yeah, honestly, I was on the same page. I kind of agree with that at first, but
take that, Jules.
I thought that he was going to bring a level of riding that we were going to be trying to catch up to, and I was honestly actually really happy to see that he's having to work just like everybody else.
That's right.
And we got some serious competition out here, so it's nice to see world-class riders come here and kind of get cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah, like Loris Baz, for example. Like he came in here like he was about to take over the world, and then I mean look what happened. I'm like, yeah, America ain't so easy, huh?
It's new tracks for him that he has to learn. So he has that against him, but he gained a lot of attention from the Dakar. So the Dakar really excelled him. And honestly, it blinded me probably also, that whole desert sand probably blinded my view, because I really thought that when he came here to America, he was really just going to take over and sweep the season. But I see also that he's having some issues learning new tracks. But it's more exciting.
I didn't, just because of the simple fact that he's come from a European tracks on a purebred race bike, coming to America tracks on Dunlop tires on production based riding. So it's completely different ball game. So actually it leveled the playing field to a certain point, right? But then
good point, Chris.
Yes, but then once he got in here, he's like, God damn, Jay Gagne is a fucking beast, dude. Matthew Skoltz is a beast, right?
Skoltz,
right. So now his mentality is completely changed the way he's got to approach racing because it's different. So yeah, I didn't think he was going to come in and just sweep it.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was the very first round. I was standing on the fence watching, and we were watching the lap times, and he was sitting in second. And I want to say he knocked on the track record, just right out of the gate, is right there on pace. And to me, that was where I was with Andy, going, yeah, okay,
Impressive.
here he comes.
Yeah, impressive.
Yeah, and if that's where he's at now, he's got more to come. So that was my. I thought he was going to do it, but he's been working since for sure. He's had to work hard.
Cody,
So.
he ran off.
He's- he-
Cody, I'm sorry, Jules. Cody, I saw Petrucci run off on T1 over here in Jersey on Saturday, like at least 7 to 8 times. He was not the only one. Other ones had the same issue, and apparently it's a very tricky T1. Can you tell us about that first turn, Code?
Yeah, absolutely. So turn one was actually one of my biggest focuses for setting a respectable lap time at this track. It's if you get turn one wrong, you're going to lose everything from about turn 9, 10, 11, 12, because that's all a high-speed section. So
Yeah.
if you overslow turn one, you just wasted about a third of the track.
Right.
So you got to get that right. And then there's a straightaway after that with another right-hander. So if you overslow it, you're going to waste your exit, and you're just now losing from turn 1 to turn 2, 3. So it's extremely important to get that one right. And the braking zone, I would say it probably varies about 5 to 10 feet. It's a pretty small braking zone.
Wow.
I feel like if I pushed it any further in there, I would have been right along with them, running off every time. Because where I was trying to hit this second Geico sign, not the second Dunlop. That's a little too nutty for me. But that second Geico sign, if you can lock it down there,
Hey,
yeah, that was the spot.
did you ride at Coda this year at Texas?
I haven't been to Coda. No, I got to go a little faster. They only run Superbike there, so I got to drop a couple more seconds before I can play with those guys.
Oh, it's for the what do they call it? The Super Stock Cup? Is that what they call it?
Superbike Cup, yeah. So basically, the top stock riders are taking their stock bikes and they're competing against the superbikes, and it's definitely something to take note on. It goes to show where everybody's at on the playing field. You know, these guys are taking an underpowered bike in consideration to a superbike, and they're putting it in the top 10. So it's basically the top stock riders are getting a little bit more seat time. It's kind of that encouragement to make the next step, get
To make
into
the jump.
superbike.
Right.
Yeah.
Do they give out like a reward or some sort of recognition to the best super? You said super stock cup, super bike cup.
The Superbike Cup. Yeah. So
Superbike Cup. Superbike
there is
Cup.
there is a payout. I don't know what it is. Hopefully I find out one of these days. But at the end of the year,
We're
there
with
is a
you, man.
payout for that.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that makes sense because I remember I was watching my first year watching MotoAmerica in 2020 when Cam Peterson was on the Altis Stock 1000. I was like, wait, why is he racing in Superbike? So like I was seeing all these like Stock 1000 guys on the Superbike class. I was like, this makes no sense. But then now I think Brendan Posh answered my question when I commented under his picture. I was like, oh, okay, all right, that makes sense. So if you're a fast boy on Stock 1000, then you know you have that shine at Superbike.
Yeah. So it's kind of that bridge. It's also it's filling the grid for Superbike. So touching base again on this being a money sport, Superbike is such a financially driven class. If you don't have the bikes, if you don't have the swing arms, the tanks, the brakes, good luck. And in that sense, not a lot of guys are playing ball. So they're kind of bridging that gap, filling the grid up a little bit more, getting some more bikes out there, and just kind of keeping that class nice and exciting. Otherwise, there's very few people that can afford to play in that ball game.
Dude. And what an exciting class it is, man. Like I think Moto America just keeps, at least from the last time I watched it to now, it just every class just gets better and better. Like not shitting on anyone, but I was never watching the Sport Bike Junior Cup, the Sport Bike Track Year Junior Cup. I was never watching that. Now I'm hooked because every class is freaking
Competitive.
insane.
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, like in 2021, I saw stock 1000, I saw super sport, and then I saw super bike, and I was out. Now I'm watching King of Baggers. I'm watching
Junior
the
Cup.
400s.
Yeah.
I'm watching the
You're
Twitch.
hooked.
I'm watching everything. I'm hooked because MotoGP was a sport. When I got into bike life, MotoGP was a sport that I only watched. MotoGP World Superbike, and then anything aside from that sort of level of power, I wasn't really watching. But then now I'm watching everything because you never know where these kids are going. Forget SDK went from super sport to Moto 2. Like, what the fuck? So like you never know who's gonna come up. You in 2 years or maybe next year could be on a super bike. I don't know. Like what if someone just looks at you and is like, yo, Cody, I want you on my super bike team. Shit. You never know.
Oh, I'm
So,
ready.
I'm
I'm up for it.
I'm freaking
I'll
hooked.
double the gym time. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Dude,
That's awesome.
Let's do it.
because hopefully this podcast makes it big one day, so that any small independent teams that come to us, we can just market
I
y'all
got an
to.
idea.
No kidding.
Matthew Skults, why don't we get you on the Westby Racing team? They only have one bike. We can put you on a second bike over there.
Oh man, I just the thought of that. Matthew and those guys are such a class act. Like it would be more than an honor to even be considered. Honestly, that's a really impressive program, and yeah, I would definitely lose some sleep over the excitement even thinking about it.
That's awesome.
Have you been on like a super bike-esque bike? I guess.
I have not. I'm a privateer, man. I'm on an old tired bike. I don't know any better, so I'm working with my rusty screwdriver and getting in there. I can only imagine what getting on a dialed-in bike like that, and then having the team that can work with a rider. We are completely self-supported. My crew is not experienced in this. They're just really smart, good people, and I trust them. So we're purely running off of what experience we've been able to gain, and I think that is definitely a factor to the program. So yeah, getting on a super bike, it'd be a learning curve, but as a rider, I got 25 years of racing under my belt. I think that I could adapt and figure it out.
You could absolutely.
MotoAmerica should have reserve riders. So like those big teams like the Superbike, Tytler's BMW, or like anybody in Superbike should just have people from Stock 1000 help be a reserve rider. That'd be sick. That'd be sick. Be like yo, Cody,
they'll pick them up every once in a while. It's just not often enough, for sure.
But could you imagine that? Like yo, Cody, my rider caught Corona, man. Do you think you could fill in for him? For
That
the
happens
weekend?
all the time.
Shit. That'd be fucking
It does.
sick,
It's just a
dude.
matter. It's just a matter of being worthy of it.
Yep.
It's a little bit of who you know, and it's a little bit about how fast do you go.
I've been
and how
told.
consistent are
I've
you.
been told you gotta be at the right time, the right place, and know the right people for that to happen.
Yeah.
100%. Honestly, I don't play the lottery, and I feel like this is the same type of thing. It's you're going in, you're gambling every time. It's just a matter of being at the right place, the right time.
Very cool.
So, Cody, I got 3 quick fire questions for you. Real quick.
Okay. I'll try to remember them.
Chris is
Listen,
on fire today.
First
guys.
question. Cody, favorite food?
Okay.
What's your favorite food?
Yeah.
Seafood. In general, seafood. It's a broad category, but I'm a sucker for seafood, whether it be sushi or some crab legs, salmon. Seafood. I will eat seafood for days.
All right. Dream date. Your dream date.
Dream date?
Dream date.
Oh man. So the wife's inside. I don't think she can hear me unless she's snooping, and that's on her. But
she's like
I definitely want to do like a trip to Italy, and I'm not gonna lie, we're sneaking in a MotoGP weekend. I'm gonna watch that schedule, and it's gonna be something along those lines. But yeah, I want to go out of the country, somewhere to one of those little bit more romantic places, and sniff some race fuel.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's very awesome. All right. So, dream motorcycle. If you could pick any motorcycle to race, no matter what budget it is, what bike would you pick and why?
So I've always been hooked on that Aprilia RSV4.
Another one.
I think that it's the bodywork, man. That's just one of the sexiest bikes
beautiful,
out there. The
yes.
sound, the looks. I would love to get a leg over one of those. I would do some things for that.
Cody, you figured that doing what you do for work, you had already had the chance to throw a leg over one.
Yeah, so I work at a dealership selling bikes and whatnot. We're not with an Aprilia dealer, but we've got some pretty good brands, and it is a small community once you get into it. So there is the opportunity to try to get our hands on one and go that route, but it kind of falls back on support. Steve Weir is a BMW race engineer. He provides amazing support for us BMW riders, even small time guys like myself. It's just purely a BMW benefit. So that does weigh heavy in my decision for what manufacturer I go with. The fact that I can give this guy a call and get a confident answer, that weighs a lot with me. So anytime Steve Weir helps me or touches my bike, I go faster. So having that back pocket support it's a must.
That's
Shout out to
awesome.
Steve.
That's awesome, Cody. I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna tell you, man. As an Aprilia owner, man, they have so many electrical
BMWs are
issues.
so sexy.
Just stay with BMW.
We're actually really close to an Aprilia team, and I've been told every time those bikes get fired up, they have to go through a sequence to learn the electronics and get everything set up.
yeah.
Every time it fires up.
Yes.
So BMW is not far though. Don't let it fool you. If I disconnect my throttle, I have to pull a computer out to relearn my throttle. So it's a little wild, but that's part of the electronics.
I'm surprised there's no Aprilia in
I know,
Superbike.
me too.
Like, I wonder what the parameters.
It's coming.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
okay.
Too.
It's coming.
I think so. Too.
Oh,
Is this?
Yeah, I think so.
We just got.
hot news
Yeah, we just
because
got
I
news.
never knew
We
that.
just got news here.
Yeah.
Well, they came out, they dropped out that 1100, and that put them out of the game, right?
Correct.
So they're not big on the support right now, but there's some teams that are with that new RS 660. They've made a statement. They are in the racing industry. It's gonna happen. I'd be honestly shocked if they don't release another 1000, and even if it's at a privateer level,
Right.
I see another Aprilia coming to the grids.
Very cool.
I think it would be good.
That's gonna
It
be
would
dangerous.
be good.
That's gonna be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I wonder who's gonna get. Yo, you better. I was about to say you better snag that ride, but your team BMW for life. So, but that
I'll
that'd
ride
be
anything,
nice.
honestly. If there's an opportunity and it means I can excel my program, I'm
That's
gonna
it.
take
I'm
it.
on.
If it's
Oh yeah.
yeah, if it's a
was
small
like-
bike, big bike,
As long as it's got two
Oh,
wheels,
yeah,
let's
if-
go.
Hell yeah,
I'm an
bro.
addict. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Like it would be. Oh man, it would be so sick to see an Aprilia race on Superbike. I wonder how well they would do, to be honest with you, because that's a powerful piece of fucking machinery.
I think they do.
It
pretty
is.
well.
I see Aprilia up there with Ducati, right? They're kind of a class act in their own, and I think that's probably why they're not involved. Is if they get involved, they're going to come at 110%. They're going to come with a program to match that bike.
You know what bike I wish came back? The KTM RC8. I wish that shit came back. You know what I mean?
I saw one of those bikes about 20 feet in the air at a club weekend.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
A good friend of mine, yeah, here locally, he bought a brand new RC8. It's we got a problem, right? You got to have a screw loose. So this was a bank bike. He financed it. He did what he had to do to get out there. He was a novice, and somebody told him, "Oh, it gets good." Somebody told him he has launch control.
Oh, what?
this guy
They don't
goes
have
out
launch
on the
control
grid.
Back in those days.
Oh yeah. He took that thing to full lock, and he dumped that clutch. And I'm not even kidding you guys. I was in the pit lane, and I saw that bike above everybody on the grid that day. And that bike got demolished. It had a race career of about 2 laps.
My God.
That hurts, and it's kind of a rare bike.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
brand new, just done.
Well, KTM did come out with that that race bike.
Yeah,
but it's
no,
only
so
strictly a
KTM
race bike.
got
But
the-
good luck
Mhm.
trying to get your hand on
KTM
that.
got that new is RC8C, the new one. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
RC8 colored.
Yeah, it's a limited production.
Correct.
I don't know if you guys know her. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know or not, but Kramer Motorcycles is one of the first turnkey race bike manufacturers that I'm aware of, and they actually partnered up with
Yes,
Kramer. If you look at a Kramer, look at the tail section. It's the same gas tank. It's the
that's
same
right.
rear end as the Kramers on that
Cody's
RC8C.
right. That is correct. Thank you, Cody.
So what Kramer was taking the 890s and putting them in a custom frame. So Kramer was taking a KTM product and building a race bike and then putting a price tag on it. So I don't know if it was ever officially announced or not. I think it was, but if you look real close, you'll see some Kramer in that RC8C.
Nice.
I'm gonna look that up later. I wonder how much a price tag on those KTM's are.
Like 25,
That's like
28.
It was a lottery. It was a lottery. So you put in for it. If they draw your ticket, you pull out your wallet. I
like
worked.
Jordans.
Yeah.
I worked with a guy that his personal friend actually got drawn. He has the RC8C. He brought it up here to Washington. Andy DeBrino got to throw a leg over it.
Nice.
So if you guys get him on here,
Yes.
Andy's a good guy.
Oh.
He can give you some first person experience on that bike. He's been on it. So
And Andy's super cool
So-
too.
so-
Chris, you got a job to do.
yeah, he is.
We got.
Yep, I
we
got
gotta
a job
get
to do.
Recruit him, wheel him
I
in.
got a job to do.
Word. But all right, boys. So we hit some time here. I don't want to take up too much of time, Cody. You got a beer in hand and you're just chilling. So I'm gonna let you continue that. Surprising, the sun is still out.
We're 2 hours in.
Yeah,
We're
it's
an
nice
hour,
over
30
here.
minutes
It's,
in. This is the longest video.
We're yeah, hour 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's significantly less once we cut like the
okay.
dead spots. But
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So
But
it's not really
but-
an hour and 22.
I'm
However,
glad.
I got time if you guys
Yeah,
got more
I'm glad
too.
because
So
you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
Cody. I mean, honestly, I know you from the page, and I get to hang out with you and stuff. I didn't get to hang out with you much at Jersey, but I hang out with you before in Virginia and Atlanta and stuff. But my other two guys fired away some good questions. I'm glad they wanted to get a chance to get to meet you. Jules never met you before, even though that I spoke about you a lot to him, and Chris also. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
they got the opportunity to chit chat with you and meet you, and hopefully they can
Absolutely.
follow up. So I'm very
Yeah, I
glad to
will,
connect.
for sure.
yeah, I'm really happy that you guys had me out here too. I actually ran into Jules, almost literally ran into him after my race at New Jersey. I was walking back to the pits and he was right next to me. And I recognized him out of the corner of my eye, but I was still in the zone, so my head was going back to the pits.
The
But,
man was buzzing
yeah,
still.
it was really good to. Yeah, I'm still on it. It was a good weekend, but
That's awesome.
dude, yeah, hell
Very
yeah.
definitely,
cool.
That's awesome.
I'm happy to be out here, and I'm glad you guys brought me in on this. I really
We're
appreciate
glad
it.
to have
No,
you,
we
man.
appreciate
Dude, we're,
you.
we're happy
Yes,
to have
sir.
you here, man.
Absolutely.
And you're welcome anytime.
Anytime.
So that's 3 out of 3 of our guests that were just like, yo, coming back. Actually, 4, including PT.
That's right.
So yeah, man, definitely. Whenever you can, like after the season's over, whenever you want to come back, we'll let one of these guys fire up a DM, and then, we'll
make it
chat
happen.
shit, bro. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, like I
But-
said to Andy, I'll make time for you guys. I like what you guys got going on and what you're doing. So if you want my time, you let me know and I'll find it
I
for
appreciate
you.
it.
Cody,
I
that
appreciate you, Cody. That
We
means
just
a
want to
lot.
give you guys
Cody,
a
that
voice.
means a
Yes,
lot
that
to
means
me.
a lot.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes,
I
me
appreciate
too.
that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you so
And
much. We just want to give. My
No,
go ahead,
I actually reached out to him earlier and talked to Cody a little bit and just told him that, I appreciate him coming on and that, I wanted to get his story out there. Everybody knows the Jake Gagne stories and all that. They don't know the up-and-comers and the privateer struggles in every day. And to me, that's what it's about, getting them up and promoting them
Yes, sir.
and helping them shine, and
Exactly.
Yeah, just
so,
to kind of touch base on that a little bit while the opportunity is there. So we're allowed 8 tires a weekend on average. That's about a little up over $3,000 a weekend that guys are spending on tires. I spent $406 last weekend. I bought one set of tires and I was seconds off of the fastest lap. So it's a big deal. The budget's wild, so it's the more support that we can get. We're grassroots racers. We're doing what we can to get it done. So the more help that we can get, it's a
Well,
big
Cody,
help.
good.
Cody,
And that's
Cody,
why we're
That's
here.
it. I'm glad to help you, Cody.
Cody, while we're at it right now, go ahead and plug in your social media. Let us know where we can find you, where you can take donations.
Yeah.
What do you need? Do your thing. Plug yourself in down
Merch.
below. Go ahead. You got like 10 minutes, man.
For sure. So basically, Squids to Grids Racing is my company. It's a coaching program that I created from scratch. What we do is we create a personal coaching program per rider, per task. So if somebody tells me they want to be a better street rider, I'm going to tailor a program to help them be a better street rider. If somebody wants to learn how to race, I'm going to get them and get them on track, and we're going to teach them how to race. So what we do is we build programs tailored to what you want. We don't charge for our experience or our resumes. We charge for our time. So I'm not going to overprice things just based on who I am or what I've done. I want to create a program that's affordable and beneficial. And it's Squids to Grids, S2G for short. We do have a website, s2gracing.com. It's outdated because, again, budget. I'm learning how to build websites. But it's Facebook, Instagram. We stick to those. I got Ride with Cody on Instagram. And then just Cody Cochran 164 on Facebook.
And I'll definitely plug that in on the description box down below, along with your website, all your socials.
Absolutely.
But again, man, yo, thank you so much for being here. It was great. I can't wait to pick your brain again once you want to come back. So
Yeah.
At the end of the season, I'm gonna be reaching out to all of y'all, man, because we need some shit to talk about since the seasons are over. So yeah. And that is the end of our podcast, everyone. I am once again Cool Jules, Chris, the show Simko, Andy, and Deluxe Row, and the World Conqueror, Cody Cochran.
Thank you,
so much for
Cody.
being here. Now, guys, just
Have a good night,
guys.
man.
Thanks, Cody.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
this
it,
is
man.
great. And the rest of you PTG fam, have a wonderful day, night, or morning, wherever you are.
Don't forget to leave a comment.